Hello everyone, this is Tim, and it's actually kind of been a while since I just recorded a regular video. I've been running my Trans-Dimensional Salvage Incorporated game, which has had pretty good success, I guess. The players have been having fun, but I think I'm going to bring it to a close, mainly because of real-life issues. And that's kind of what I want to just update you guys on, and just sort of get back into this whole vlogging thing. So on the home front, things were going not too well in various ways. I could probably say that in a better way, but I've been married for 16 years, and we've had some problems. And we've gone through counseling, and I think part of the reason that was going on was mainly because of my depression, and there's other reasons, personality things, clashes, that sort of stuff. But so I actually ended up leaving my house. I moved out. I moved in with my dad for a while, and he didn't have an internet connection, so that kind of made filming videos a little tricky. But yeah, so I came back recently, and things have actually been going really well. So like surprisingly well, which is pretty strange. Relationships are very, very weird things. Where counseling didn't help, for some reason a separation did. And I also think we just, we don't communicate very well, and at least we didn't. We're communicating a lot better now. Things are good, but yeah, my depression's still there, so I'm actually going to start getting help for it again. I think it's been about 20 years of me just trying to manage things as best as I can, and that seems like it hasn't really worked all that well at various times in my life. And recently especially, things are going really well, and I'm just sad for no reason. So that makes me think that I need to get on some sort of medication again to try to just get me on the right road, get me feeling better as a general like baseline, and instead of what I do now, which I feel pretty awful most of the time. So that's not good. So I'm hoping that in the future, I'm going to be just better adjusted, I guess, to getting through life's challenges and things. I've got the kids, and I really wish that I could enjoy them more. And I think that my depression has made that harder than it should be, because I have two very beautiful kids. They're very smart. I'm biased, of course, I'm their dad, but I wish that I was in a better frame of mind most of the time that I'm around them. So I'm going to try to get help with that and try to be more positive in general, try to make some other changes like exercise and diet. I've lost 10 pounds in the recent months, but I think that was probably mostly because of the anxiety that I had of being in a totally different situation, having to move and that sort of thing. I also realized that I have way more books than I can ever possibly read in my lifetime. At one point I thought, having a library is a cool thing, but I think it's actually gotten to the point where I'm like a book hoarder, where I actually have multiple copies of certain books. I don't need to have multiple copies of certain books. Some of the books that I've read once and I'm not going to read again, I probably should donate either to Goodwill or some literary fund or a fundraiser, maybe a library, something like that. And as far as RPGs go, I've actually been trying to get rid of RPGs that I don't use too much or that I really don't see myself running or playing ever again. And I usually give those to various people in the YouTube RPG community, the Brigade and One Shot Group and so forth. And I'll probably continue to do that whenever I find some people that are interested in certain things. I've also been thinking too that there's probably only so many settings that I can know inside and out and run. For example, this has been bouncing around my head right now. So I have a bunch of stuff for Harn, H-A-R-N. It has like a little, I don't even know what you call it, a little arrow above the A. Not very good with English. But a little accent mark, I guess is what you would call it. But Harn is a very complex setting, lots of details on various races and cultures and religions and gods. And then I also have Tekkamol, which is very similar in the fact that it has lots of details on gods and cultures and civilizations and empires and so forth, different races and species. So I'm trying to think, do I really see myself really getting into Tekkamol? Because that's like the number one I want to read and get in touch with and figure out. I don't know if I have time or the mental capacity to store that much knowledge for both Harn and Tekkamol, as well as some of these other settings that I like to try to play around with at times. So someone out there might get a bunch of Harn material at one point. I've also been looking at like my King Arthur stuff. I've always liked the idea of running a game based on King Arthur, but I don't know if I could do it very well. I'm not very well versed in the various myths and legends. Sure, I've watched movies and things like that, but as far as the actual fiction and literary sources go, not really. Like Morte Arthur, I think I've skimmed it. So I don't know if I'm really like a good. I wouldn't be a good GM for something like that. So I might give some of that stuff away. And a lot of the stuff that I have was actually given to me. So in some ways, it feels like I'm paying it forward by donating this stuff to fellow gamers if they think they can get some sort of use out of it. It's not just going to be sitting on my dusty shelf. It'll be, maybe in someone's hands, and they'll be like, excited that they have something like this and they can, read it and get to know it. So yeah, this is a big rambly video about how, having some relationship troubles, but they kind of seem like they're mostly in the past now. I hope to be turning a new page with that, starting a new chapter. So wish me luck. Hope that I do the right things and I try to unlearn some of the things that, like I've learned from my parents, and things that are almost like instinct that I don't even really think about. And that goes for all of us, I think. We just, we emulate the things that we know, and we don't really think about some of the stuff that we do. So I've been trying to stop and think before I say things, before I do things. But I'm also trying to be more open and honest, because I can be, I don't know what you would call it. I can hide things or just not share things as much as I could. So, yeah. So I got some work to do. I'm going to start going to a therapist and a psychiatrist, I think, for depression. It's been like 20 years. I haven't really had any help with that. I'm just trying to be doing the best I can, managing it with various things. I think I've done that to a good extent with the role-playing games. They kind of get me away from, stuff up here. I take a little mental vacation while I'm running a game or playing a game. So we'll see how that goes. See how all things turn out. I hope that this recent bit of chaos, however, will be a good jumping point for more positive change. And change can be scary, even good change. But here's hoping that I can make some of those. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying to do more videos, to talk to you guys, just more about stuff, and maybe not worry so much about how it comes across or what the topics are. But yeah, if there's anything that you guys want me to cover or talk about, and it isn't already in my giant backlog of old videos, let me know if you guys have any ideas. I want to try to do a video response to Mark Cruz. I think it's 162. I'm probably not remembering the numbers right. But he did a video where he wants to know how many RPG books in your collection you've actually ran or played. And the nice thing about that is that I've actually got a chance, because of my local convention, to run games that I wouldn't normally be able to run with a weekly group, or just groups that like to play D&D only. So those conventions were a nice opportunity to try to run some stuff. Like even at online conventions like Brigade Con, I was able to run the Bunnies and Burrows, which is a bunny-based game, kind of based on Watership Down, and that was a lot of fun. I did that at my local convention as well. I got to run Deep Carbon Observatory, which is a game by Patrick Stewart and Scrap Princess, and that was a blast. It was like, the despair and sort of sludge that the players and characters had to get through was very interesting. There was lots of aquatic encounters, which was different. I don't usually have too many of those in my games because they were in this rickety old boat going up this stream, and there was a flooded out town, and all kinds of bad stuff was happening. People were eating each other, and it was a very kind of despair laden adventure where the amount of food that the characters had actually meant a lot because people were hungry and the flood had washed away all sources of food for them to eat. So it was very cool to see them sort of have the moral scale, like, well, if I give you this amount of food, am I going to have enough food for myself? So that was cool to see. But that went really well, and I also ran the People of Pembertonshire again. It's one of my favorite sort of setting, like town locations, I guess, because it's so weird. There's all kinds of strange NPCs running around, and I had a blast. I had all the player characters laughing just because of how obscene / disturbing some of these NPCs were, and I just tried to roleplay them to the best of my ability. So GasCon in Pittsburgh, PA was a lot of fun this year. They have it every year in November, so I look forward to running pretty much the entire convention like I did this year. I look forward to it a lot. Let's see, what else can I ramble about? Warband is the name of the game that I'm currently running for that transdimensional salvage incorporated game. It's basically like a sci-fantasy game, and you can download it off a Sword Plus One blog, so it's a free download. It's kind of like if Warhammer 40k was taken in the corner by Labyrinth Lord and beat up. So it's like sort of a mix of those two things. But other than that, I'm just trying to enjoy life. I'm trying to get used to just maybe just trying to be happier. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that, but I'm really going to try. I'm going to try to be less morose and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully the YouTube channel can help with that. I've actually had some friends that have started watching it, and other people just to sort of see what I'm like. And a couple of them have said this is like my secret life, that I'm different on here, that I can be more open, which is kind of strange because it's public. But yeah, maybe just talking to the camera is easy for me for some reason. But it does help me, and I'm very grateful for all the subscribers that I have. Thank you for sticking with me, even though my content has kind of been sparse lately, and let's be honest, maybe not all that great at times. But I hope to put out more in the future. And like I said, put down below in the dungeon anything that you guys want me to talk about, and I will try to do that soon. So Mark Cruz, hopefully I'll get a video response in the next, let's not promise anything, in the near future to your video about how many games I've actually run off my shelves. And I think I'm going to have to film that video in 2 locations, because a lot of my RPGs are still at my father's place, where I was staying pretty much for the last month. But yeah, I hope to see you guys all soon, and I hope things are going well for you out there. If you guys ever want to talk about stuff, most of you I think are friends with me through the RPG Brigade on Facebook. But yeah, send me a message, or send me a message on Google+. Those links are down there in the dungeon below. But that's pretty much it. I hope to talk to you guys all again soon.